Thank you so much for being a part of this and being able to have this awesome conversation with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really pleased to be able to have the conversation with you, Matt.
Very welcome. Now, Wendy, we were just talking about this just a moment ago, but you've been here, is it 5 years?
Just over 3 years.
Just over 3 years. Okay.
3 years, yeah.
Feels like longer for me. I feel like I've known you for quite a long period of time now.
I think that's because I've done just about everything there is to do with CCI. Now I'm going around for a second time.
You are. You're in everything, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, Wendy, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you've been doing with business coaching, and then I think it would be cool to go back to the beginning of your journey of the last 3 years. So, what is it that how are you using coaching right now in business coaching?
Okay, so I've got kind of got two arms, which I'm sort of playing with at the moment. So one is small business, very involved in local networking, referral groups, and helping a lot of small business owners, particularly sole traders, who really don't know how to set themselves up for success. And I love working with them because they really, really care about their business. They're passionate because it's their business.
Right.
And they're quite blown away when I talk about things like critical alignment model and having a clear vision and putting structure in particular. I think structure seems to be a big gap for a lot of these players. So I really love that, and they're really passionate, they're really caring. And then the other arm is where I've worked with corporates. I'm about to start working with not so much directly with corporate, but a series of programs that we're going to put out for corporate, which will attract them. And what I love about that is it's influencing big business, and that the players involved are really passionate about it, but it's really challenging to actually influence the whole organisation. Yeah. So I do a lot of vertical work there, so with a vertical function or a department or in the business. And I had an email, just as an example to demonstrate, I had an email from the previous large corporation I worked with, and he sent me an email going, we've been shut down again, and with ISO, and but it's okay. We're doing our FY21 plan and we're using CAM and we love it, and I can't wait to send you a copy of it. And I just felt this over 6 months since I've worked with them, and I was just so rapt that they're so embracing critical alignment model because they just realise the power of it. So they're sort of the two arms that I'm working with at the moment, and I love the difference between them.
That's awesome. Really, really awesome. And congratulations, because it's a great feeling to have, to know that you didn't just go in there and do, I think a lot of people think that business coaching, or especially from a life coaching perspective, you go in and you focus just on the people. Yeah. And if anyone else here watching has ever been involved in that before, you know that it doesn't keep, it doesn't stick. The people, if we go in and we give them more self-awareness, they usually feel great, and maybe that might last a month. Mm. But then every old practice, every old structure, every old value, every old idea comes back in and decreases the culture again. And what an awesome bit of feedback to know that, the time that they spent with you is now outgrowing you.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is.
And what you've been able to teach them and what you've learned from us here at the school is now their ethos. And that's really... that's what it's about, isn't it?
It is. And even in addition to that, one of the managers that reports to this guy emailed me separately. This has just all happened in the last week, actually. It's weird because they're, again, everyone's going through a difficult time. And she reached out and said, we've got a new team member. She works, in isolation, like away from the office, as everyone is. Said, I'd really love if you can give me any tips and tricks based on what you taught us on critical alignment and above the line and below the line as to how we can help this person settle it. And I thought, I'm not even working with them anymore, and these people are reaching out. So that's the legacy I feel I've left in this large organisation, and that will have a ripple effect across the organisation over time, which is wonderful.
It is. It's really wonderful. Now let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. So where were you over 3 years ago? What was missing in your life, and what got you to the point where you thought, you know what, I'm going to join the Coaching Institute. This is going to be my next level of direction.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I had three really life-changing events. So I'd had a 40-year career in retail, and when I left that organisation, was working at a really senior level, more senior than I ever had any aspiration to get to. It just sort of happened. And so that's all good, but I still always felt like a bit of a fake, even though I was very successful. And I always just focused on doing the best job I could. And anyway, so I had 3 life-changing events that happened within 6 months. So my father passed away, which was fine because he was 90 and it was his time. But the impact that had on me, I was with him when he took his last breath. I was holding his hand. And I remember physically feeling the life go out of his body. And I just looked at him, and because I was very close to my father. And I remember looking at him going, is that it? Is that all there is to life? Like, you just, you're born and you have a life and you produce 6 children and you have a great life and then you die. So I go, there's got to be more to it. I've still got many, many years in me. There's got to be more to my life. What's my purpose? So after all that settled down, I went back to work and I'd felt the wind had gone out of my sails, and I'd always been very passionate about this organisation, having been there for a long time. And so, but that's okay. Time went on, and Christmas and everything. And then in the March, a whole lots of restructures always going on. My role made redundant. So I sort of went, okay, after 40 years, paid to retire. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Got a really good payout. So I thought that was all really cruisy. Took me about, 6 hours to get over the what do you mean you don't need me type of, emotion. Didn't take long.
Right. I imagine the payout probably helped a little bit with that.
Totally helped a lot. And then really the turning point for me was 3 weeks later, my brother took his own life. And that was totally out of the blue, didn't see it coming. 1 of 6 kids, like, that doesn't happen in our family. That happens in other people's families type of thinking. That's what really sent me on the path of there's got to be more to life. There's got to be some way that I can honour my brother and do something to help others rather than, and I love the way Joe Parnay always says it, that our life is not about ourselves, it's about other people. And I love that. And so the Coaching Institute came on my radar after about 2 months. So I've wallowed around for 2 months, letting all that settle down. And that was a really difficult time for all of our family. And then the Coaching Institute had been popping up in my Facebook feed for a long time. And I'm like, go away. I'm not interested. I don't even know what that is. Push it away. And it only came into my feed because a friend of mine kept liking it. I'm like, well, good on you for liking it. Doesn't mean to say I have to like it. Anyway, so one day I was sitting there, I've got to come up with a plan. I'm not going to let my brother's death be for nothing, and I've got to do something purposeful, and there's got to be more meaning to life. Anyway, so Coaching Institute popped up again. I went, all right, I'm going to have a look at this. So long story short, by the following, so I did the thing, got the emails, got all the thing, read everything, ticked all my boxes. Following weekend, I came to one of your weekends where you were facilitating. And I remember saying to you on the Sunday, having come out of a corporate world, I remember saying to you Sunday, look, Matt, this is just amazing. I'm really keen to join, but I need you to help me with something. I still remember this is exactly how the conversation went. You know how you have those defining moments that you just remember?
Very much so.
And Matt, I really need you to help me with something. I was even afraid to have the conversation with you because you were like amazing. And now you're even more amazing. And
Thank you.
I remember saying to you, I need you to help me with something. You said, sure. What? And you have this gorgeous way of pouting when you say, sure. And I said, I need you to help me with my cynicism. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I actually just can't believe that what you're saying is possible here is possible. Like, it's just, I've never experienced anything like this, that I can have this personal growth, or that I can learn so much, or that at my age there is another chapter in my life, which is what I was looking for. And my brother and I had always talked about what we would do when we weren't doing what we were doing, and which for me was not working full time at that organisation. So you said, fine, no worries. If you want to sign up, sign up. When you come to Fox, if you don't like what you're learning, we'll give you money back. And I thought, well, I can't lose. Went to Fox 2 weeks later. I'd signed up for Masters on that Sunday, and I came to Fox 2 weeks later and signed up to Pro.
And congratulations on everything that you've achieved.
Thank you.
Especially, I think that there's nothing prepares us for big losses. The loss of your father, the loss of your brother. Nothing can prepare you for that, and they're so significant. And I don't want to say that you made it good, because it's not what you did. You didn't make it good because it was horrible. And death is something that is just, it's always a major loss, especially when you don't expect it, especially with your brother. what I love about what you've done, though, is you've used that as a lesson.
Mm.
And, you know, one of the things that we talk about in the school is that we choose the meaning that we place on things. That's up to us. Our thought process is something that we are responsible for. And you said, well, there's got to be more to life. And I really believe that that is the way to live our lives, is to find purpose, is to create purpose, and is to not just, you know, so many people, especially, you know, we've been talking about how to become a business coach, especially in business, so many people that are leaders, they think of their job as a job.
Mm.
They go, well, you know, I get paid, I don't know, $150,000, $200,000 a year. That's good money. I've got a lot of work to do. I might manage 100 people. And, you know, it is what it is.
Mm. For me now, it's not even about the money. Yes, I earn money, but that's not about that. The financial success that I'm getting is about being able to help other people and just being able to keep doing that I can give back so much. But my first start on the journey was about, okay, well, I want to learn how I can help other people not do what my brother did. And that probably, it took me about 6 months in my first 6 months with TCI to realise that that's actually wasn't my calling. I'm not that sort of person. I'm caring and I'm empathetic and compassionate, but that's not my calling. I've had 40 years of business. So I realised that when I stopped focusing on what we generally call life coaching and started focusing on business coaching, it was like putting on a really comfortable jacket that sort of just suited me. And then what I loved about that was I learned that, well, we're human beings before we are leaders in business. And so I love bringing the human element to leadership, and then how we actually become better human beings to be better leaders, to be able to get greater success. That's the connection that I love to make.
Wendy, congratulations on how far you've come. If you think about it, 3 years is a very, very small amount of time.
Yeah.
And you have the whole rest of your life to allow your passion to evolve and your purpose to evolve. And you know, I know that because I know you personally, I know you've created some beautiful relationships here. Coaching Institute that you'll hold on to for the rest of your life, and you've grown in a substantial amount personally yourself, and will continue to grow, as we all will, and you get to make a difference. What would you say to someone who is watching this now, who's inspired by your message, who's considering joining the school and becoming a business coach with us? What would you say? What would you share with them?
I would share with them to absolutely know that they have, that you have it in you to do it. If it's a desire, if it's a passion, if it's an interest, even if you only think it is, explore it, because it is within you and it is so easy. This study of human behaviour is so empowering. I'd say trust yourself, back yourself, and go forth and do it. And there's so many people out there that need this, so many people, particularly with the quality of the training that we get at the Coaching Institute. I've come across people who have call themselves coaches and they've actually had no training other than they've been in business for 20 years. They actually don't really know what they're talking about. And I love the fact that we know what we're talking about. We're evidence-based and it's all proven and they're all models that work, and I love that. So I'd say trust yourself and do it.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. Great to chat with you, Matt. Thank you.